My beloved brothers and sisters, many times in life we wait for others to notice our pain, to understand our struggles, to support us when we feel overwhelmed. But the truth is, not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will be there when you need them. And not everyone has the capacity to carry what you're going through. That is why Allah teaches us to build strength within ourselves, to stand up even when no one lifts us, and to learn how to support our own hearts with His help. Overthinking comes when we depend too much on people's approval, on their words, on their presence, on their comfort. But when you rely on Allah, you stop begging for reassurance, you stop replaying scenarios in your mind, you stop waiting for someone to save you. You learn how to calm your heart through prayer, protect your mind through remembrance, and become your own support through a stronger connection with your Creator. You don't need the world to validate you. You need the one who created you. And when Allah becomes your source of confidence, your mind will stop racing, your heart will stop breaking, and your strength will be built from the inside out. Rely on Allah before you rely on anyone else. Relying on people before relying on Allah is one of the main reasons hearts keep breaking. Human beings are limited in time, in strength, in patience, and in understanding. Even the most loving person cannot be there for you every moment. But Allah never leaves. He never sleeps, never gets tired, never abandons the one who calls upon Him. When you shift your reliance from creation to the Creator, you stop fearing loss, disappointment, and rejection, because your support does not come from people. It comes from the one who controls hearts. Allah teaches us that true reliance begins when you trust Him even before the solution appears. When Musa alayhi salam stood before the Red Sea with an army behind him, he had no clear escape, yet his heart was calm. Why? Because his trust was in Allah, not in circumstances. Reliance is not believing in what you see, it is believing in the one who sees what you cannot. When your heart depends on Allah, the impossible becomes possible. Many people place their hopes in others because they want immediate comfort, but comfort from creation is temporary. It may help for a moment, but it cannot heal the root of your pain. Only Allah can soothe the heart in a way that lasts. Only Allah can remove a burden without replacing it with another. Only Allah can protect your heart from future wounds. Relying on people without relying on Allah is like leaning on a branch that will eventually break. When you rely on Allah, you stop panicking when your plans fall apart. You begin to understand that your life is not random. It is guided with precision. What you lose, what you gain, who enters, who leaves, and which doors open or close are all part of a divine script crafted for your benefit. Relying on Allah means trusting that His plan is always better than your preference, even when you do not yet understand it. One of the signs of true reliance is that you stop seeking reassurance from people and start seeking it from Allah. When something scares you, you make dua. When something confuses you, you pray istikhara. When something hurts you, you turn to the Quran. You realize that Allah's words can calm your heart more than anyone's advice. You learn to sit with your worries in sujood rather than sit with them in restless conversations. You cannot be truly strong until your trust is rooted in Allah. When you rely on people, your emotions rise and fall based on their behavior. But when you rely on Allah, you remain steady even when people change. Your heart becomes anchored. You stop being a prisoner to people's moods, reactions, and presence. They may disappoint you, but Allah never will. Strength is not found in depending on many people. It is found in depending on the one who never leaves. Allah does not ask you to avoid people. He asks you to avoid depending on them more than you depend on Him. You can love others, trust them, value them, and be close to them, but you should never make them the source of your peace. Peace comes from Allah. Hearts find rest not through companionship, but through remembrance. When Allah is the center of your heart, relationships become healthier because you no longer expect people to do what only Allah can. Relying on Allah protects you from heartbreak. You stop expecting humans to fulfill needs they cannot carry. People cannot heal your trauma, calm your mind, or guarantee your happiness. They cannot understand the thoughts you never expressed or the wounds you never explained. But Allah knows every whisper, every tear, every fear, and every unspoken emotion. You rely on Him because He understands the depths no one else can reach. Tawakkul does not mean sitting and doing nothing. It means doing your best while trusting Allah with the outcome. You plan, but you do not panic. You act, but you do not obsess. You try, but but you do not lose hope. You put effort into your goals, but your heart remains relaxed because you know that what is written for you will reach you and what is not will never harm you. Reliance is the balance between effort and surrender. Allah tests your reliance when things go wrong, not when things go right. Anyone can trust when life is smooth, but true reliance appears in the moments of fear, loss, confusion, and disappointment. When your heart says, even now Allah is with me, you have understood tawakkul. When you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And begin asking, what is Allah teaching me? You have understood reliance. People may be sincere in their love, but they cannot protect you from all harm. They cannot be with you in every moment of fear, every night of overthinking, every hour of sadness. But Allah can. When you rely on Him, fear becomes smaller because you know you're under His care. Worry becomes lighter because you know He is managing what you cannot. Dependence on Allah turns anxiety into calmness. Overthinking fades when reliance grows. Most overthinking comes from trying to control what is beyond your control. You replay conversations, imagine outcomes, fear the future, and carry burdens not meant for you. But when you rely on Allah, you stop carrying the world on your shoulders. You trust that Allah will guide, protect, and sustain you. You let go of what is not yours and embrace the peace that comes from surrender. Relying on Allah strengthens your self-worth. You stop tying your value to people's approval. You stop needing validation from anyone. You stop waiting for others to acknowledge your pain or praise your efforts. When Allah becomes your witness, the silence of people no longer hurts you. You serve Him, not them. You seek His acceptance, not theirs. Your self-worth becomes rooted in your connection to Him. A heart that relies on Allah does not crumble under pressure. It bends but does not break. It feels pain but does not lose hope. It faces setbacks but does not fall apart. Reliance gives you emotional resilience. You learn to breathe through hardship, to heal through prayer, and to trust through confusion. You walk through life with a quiet confidence, knowing Allah is managing what you cannot see. When Allah becomes your support, you no longer chase people to understand you. You realize that seeking emotional safety from creation leads to disappointment. You stop expecting everyone to know your thoughts or fulfill your emotional needs. You rely on Allah to fill the gaps. You trust that He places the right people when needed and removes the wrong ones when necessary. Your heart stops breaking from expectations. Reliance on Allah opens doors you never imagined. When you place your trust in Him, He places opportunities in your path that you couldn't create on your own. He brings comfort from unexpected places, solutions from unseen directions, and blessings from sources you never thought of. Relying on Allah doesn't just protect your heart, it expands your life. True reliance is when your heart is calm even before the solution arrives. You don't wait for evidence to trust Allah. You trust Him because you know who He is, the most merciful, the most loving, the best planner. You stop attaching your happiness to outcomes and attach it to faith instead. A believer's peace comes from certainty in Allah, not certainty in circumstances. When you rely on Allah, loneliness becomes lighter. You may still live alone, sit alone, or walk alone, but you never feel alone. Your heart is accompanied by the one who listens when no one hears, who responds when no one can, who stays when everyone leaves. Relying on Allah turns solitude into companionship and quiet moments into worship. Relying on Allah teaches you to walk away from what harms you without fear. You stop staying in draining situations out of desperation. You stop tolerating disrespect out of fear of being alone. You stop clinging to people who bring you pain. You know that if you leave something for Allah's sake, He will replace it with something better. Not maybe, but certainly. Reliance gives you dignity. When Allah becomes your refuge, your support system, and your calm in chaos, your heart reaches a place where nothing in this world can truly break you. You may feel sadness, but you do not drown. You may face trials, but you do not lose faith. You may experience loss, but you do not lose yourself. Because the one who relies on Allah stands with the strength that comes from heaven. And when you reach that level of reliance, life does not become easier. You become stronger. Strong in faith, strong in patience, strong in clarity, strong in peace. Nothing can overpower a heart held firmly by Allah. And nothing can shake a believer who has learned to say with certainty, Hasbunallah, Allah is enough for me. Stop expecting others to understand your pain. Not every pain you feel is meant to be understood by people. Some struggles are sent by Allah specifically for you because He wants you to rise through them, learn from them, and come closer to Him through them. Expecting others to fully understand your heart is like expecting them to live your life. They haven't walked your path, carried your tests, or cried your tears. Even if they try to help, they can never feel your pain the way you do. Only Allah knows the depth of your wounds. When you depend on people to understand your struggles, disappointment becomes inevitable. You begin hoping for the perfect listener, the perfect comfort, the perfect advice, but no one can give that perfectly. Allah created every heart with unique battles and unique healing. You can explain your pain 1,000 times and someone still may not grasp its weight. Your peace does not lie in being understood by people, but in being understood by the one who created your heart. People see what you show, but Allah sees what you hide. You may smile in front of others while your heart aches in silence. You may act strong when you're breaking inside. You may love deeply even when you are hurting. Allah sees the pain behind your patience, the struggle behind your silence, and the sincerity behind your efforts. When you stop expecting people to notice what you go through, you start noticing how closely Allah watches over you. Expecting people to understand your pain makes you repeat your story to find relief. You talk to one person, then another, seeking validation, reassurance, or empathy. But the soul does not heal by retelling pain. It heals by surrendering it to Allah. Humans can listen, but Allah can heal. People can comfort you for a moment, but Allah can change your life. Your heart becomes lighter when you speak to Him more than you speak about your pain. The more you expect people to understand, the more misunderstood you will feel. You may start to believe no one cares, when in reality, Allah is protecting your heart from depending on the wrong people. Not everyone is meant to hear your hurt. Not every ear is trustworthy. Not every heart is safe. Not every mind is wise. Allah withholds understanding from others, so you are pushed toward Him. Your pain is not a punishment, it's a direction. When you stop expecting others to carry your pain, you discover strength within yourself. You realize that you do not need to rely on others emotionally to survive. You don't break every time someone fails you. You don't collapse when someone doesn't show up. You learn to build reliance from within, fueled by dua, strengthened by tawakkul, and healed through patience. You stop waiting for someone to save you and allow Allah to guide you. Do not hate people for failing to understand you. They are human just like you, limited in perception, wisdom, and emotional capacity. Some are silent not because they don't care, but because they don't know what to say. Some distance themselves not because they don't love you, but because they don't know how to help. Expect less from them and more from Allah. Forgive people for being human and trust Allah for being perfect. Sometimes Allah hides your pain from people to protect you from their judgment. Not everyone who listens wants to help. Some want to gossip, criticize, or use your vulnerability against you. Allah shields your heart by making your struggle private. He protects you from being misunderstood and misused. You don't need the world to understand your story. You need Allah to write its ending with mercy and wisdom. Your pain is not meant to weaken you. It is meant to teach you. Allah lets you feel the weight of sadness, so you learn the beauty of sujood. He lets you feel loneliness, so you can taste the sweetness of His companionship. He lets you feel abandoned, so you learn that He is Al-Wali, the protective friend. Every ache you feel is a reminder that hearts are secured not by people, but by their Creator. When you expect others to understand you, you feel frustrated by their silence. But silence is not rejection. Silence is space. Space for you to turn inward, reflect, heal, and choose Allah as your comfort. Instead of asking, why is no one supporting me? Begin asking, what is Allah trying to teach me through this? You will realize that your pain is carving maturity, wisdom, and spiritual depth into your heart. Overthinking increases when you assume people must validate your suffering before it becomes real. Pain is real even if you never speak it. Trauma exists even if no one witnessed it. Your tears are meaningful even if no one wiped them away. Human acknowledgement is not what makes your pain valid. Allah's knowledge of it is enough. He knew the wound before you felt it, and He knows the healing long before you see it. People can love you deeply and still not understand your pain. They may support you financially but not emotionally, be present physically but not mentally, care sincerely but misunderstand repeatedly. Love alone doesn't equal understanding. And that's okay. Allah did not command people to fully comprehend each other. He commanded us to show mercy, patience and compassion. Expecting perfection from people is a recipe for heartbreak. Letting go of expectations does not mean isolating yourself from others. It means freeing yourself from emotional dependency. You can share your pain without demanding understanding. You can accept advice without expecting solutions. You can receive support without expecting perfection. You stop seeking completion from humans and start seeking clarity from Allah. People become blessings, not necessities. If you make humans your emotional foundation, your peace will crumble with their absence. But if you make Allah your foundation, your peace will remain firm even if the world changes. People can comfort you, but they cannot complete you. They can care for you, but they cannot carry your destiny. They can pray for you, but they cannot rewrite your fate. Only Allah can hold your heart through every chapter of your life. When you stop expecting people to understand your pain, your relationships improve. You no longer blame others for the comfort they cannot give. You appreciate their effort rather than judge their inability. You value their presence without demanding perfection. You learn to love with kindness instead of condition. People feel safer around you when you stop expecting them to be flawless healers. Some pains are meant to be understood later, not now. Allah sometimes hides the wisdom behind your suffering until your heart is ready to receive it. You may not understand today why a friendship ended, a plan failed, or a prayer was delayed. But one day you will look back and say, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be who I am today. Pain becomes a chapter of growth, not a prison of regret. Allah knows your thoughts before you speak them, your fears before you confess them, and your wounds before you show them. Even the tears you wipe away quickly are counted by Him. You don't need to explain your pain perfectly for Him to understand. You don't need to justify your sadness for Him to respond. He hears what your tongue cannot express and sees what your heart tries to hide. Allah understands without words. Stop expecting others to see your effort. Allah sees. Stop expecting others to appreciate your sacrifice. Allah appreciates. Stop expecting others to repay your patience. Allah rewards it. Recognize that your value lies in your sincerity, not in people's acknowledgement. When you do something for His sake alone, you are never unseen, underpaid, or unrecognized. Allah's recognition is worth more than the world's applause. Healing begins when you accept that your journey is yours alone. You can receive advice, support, and love, but your transformation is personal. Allah will teach you through solitude, strengthen you through hardship, and soften you through tears. Your growth does not depend on who accompanies you, but on how deeply you turn to Him. Pain shapes you because it pushes you toward the one who can heal you. And once you stop expecting others to understand your pain, your heart finally rests. You stop explaining. You stop defending, you stop replaying memories. You seek help from Allah. You find clarity in prayer. You find peace in patience. And you find support in faith. The moment you turn your pain into dua instead of explanation, Allah turns your burden into strength. And when Allah becomes the one who understands you, no misunderstanding from people can ever break you again. Strengthen your mind through dhikr and salah. Dhikr is not just the movement of the tongue. It is the oxygen of the soul. When you remember Allah, your thoughts begin to realign, your worries begin to soften, and your fears begin to shrink. A heart that remembers Allah cannot drown in anxiety, because remembrance brings clarity that fear tries to hide. You may not change your circumstances immediately, but dhikr changes how your mind reacts to them. It places peace where panic used to live. Salah is not just a physical act, it is emotional therapy from the one who created your emotions. Every time you stand in prayer, you leave the chaos of the world behind and stand in front of the one who controls it. You bow, reminding your ego to submit. You prostrate, placing your greatest worries at the lowest place, trusting Allah to lift you. Salah trains your mind to seek solutions through surrender, not through stress. Overthinking happens because the mind forgets who is truly in control. We replay scenarios trying to protect ourselves when Allah is already protecting us. Dhikr interrupts the cycle of anxious thinking by replacing fear with remembrance. When you say, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, Allah is enough for me and the best disposer of affairs, your mind stops trying to be God. You return to being a servant, and servants don't carry what only Allah can handle. Salah teaches discipline not just for the body, but for the mind. You wake up when your nafs wants to sleep, you pray when your desires want distraction, and you focus when your thoughts want to wander. Each prayer is a mental training session, a lesson in mindfulness, gratitude, humility, and patience. You don't pray because you feel strong. You pray to become strong. Dhikr trains your thoughts to focus on what matters. Your mind constantly speaks even when you're silent. Thoughts can hurt you more than words because you hear them in the deepest part of your soul. Dhikr changes the language of your mind. Instead of what if something goes wrong, it becomes Allah will take care of me. Instead of I'm alone, it becomes Allah is with me. Dhikr is not just remembrance, it is reprogramming. When your heart remembers Allah, your brain stops panicking unnecessarily, fear loses its power, sadness stops becoming a prison, worries become temporary instead of identity. Dhikr lifts you from drowning in emotion to floating on hope. It reminds your mind that there is nothing you will face except what Allah permits, and nothing Allah allows except what you can handle. Dhikr makes the mind logical through faith. We often overthink because we confuse planning with controlling. Salah teaches us the difference. You can plan with effort, but the outcome belongs to Allah. When you pray, you give your plans to the one who knows the unseen. You do not beg the world for results. You ask Allah, then work, and then trust. Salah teaches the mind to act without attachment, strive without fear, and accept without despair. The mind is weak when it has no anchor. Dhikr becomes that anchor. When your thoughts spin out of control, saying Subhanallah grounds your heart in awe. When anxiety rises, La ilaha illallah reminds you that nothing has power except Him. When sadness presses heavily, Alhamdulillah reminds you that blessings still surround you. Dhikr stabilizes your mind when life becomes uncertain. Salah protects your mental health more than you realize. In sujood, your thoughts soften, your heartbeat slows, your breath deepens, your body connects to the earth, your soul connects to the Creator, and your mind finally rests. You cannot think too much while you are bowing to Allah, because bowing rewrites your priorities. Prayer is not an escape, it is the reset button your mind desperately needs. Dhikr pulls you away from intrusive thoughts. When you fill the heart with Allah's name, you starve the mind of fear. Thoughts cannot overwhelm a heart already occupied with remembrance. Just as filling your stomach leaves no room for hunger, filling your heart with dhikr leaves no room for toxic thinking. You begin to live from a place of serenity, not survival. Dhikr becomes protection. Salah reminds you that everything you stress about is temporary. When you leave prayer, the world is still there, but your mind is different. Problems look smaller, people seem less powerful, and life feels less frightening. You realize that time, love, money, pain, and success are all temporary guests. Prayer does not remove problems, it removes the illusion that they define your worth. Salah liberates your mind. Dhikr strengthens your emotional intelligence. It teaches you when to be patient, when to walk away, when to trust, when to let go. It replaces emotional reaction with spiritual reflection. Dhikr whispers wisdom when emotions scream pain. The one who remembers Allah does not act impulsively, because they know that hasty decisions come from the nafs, while calm decisions come from reliance on Allah. Salah teaches resilience. You pray 5 times a day, sometimes in joy, sometimes in anxiety, sometimes in heartbreak, and sometimes in numbness. But you still pray. The mind learns consistency, discipline, and perseverance. You show up even when you feel nothing, and Allah rewards you with strength. Prayer shows the mind that effort is more important than emotion. Faith becomes action, not feeling. Dhikr teaches the mind how to redirect rather than react. When anger rises, saying Astaghfirullah calms the ego. When jealousy appears, MashaAllah purifies the heart. When despair comes, Allahumma Yasir "Oh Allah, make it easy," brings hope back. Dhikr becomes a conversation between your heart and Allah, shaping your thoughts before your thoughts shape your life. Salah cleans your mind the way water cleans your body. Wudu washes away physical impurity. Prayer washes away emotional dust. Every sajda removes spiritual toxins, grudges, arrogance, worry, hopelessness. Every ruku bends ego. Every takbir reminds you who is truly in control. Salah purifies not only your heart but your mental state. You leave prayer not just cleaner but lighter. Dhikr is a shield against shaitan, and shaitan attacks the mind first. He whispers fear, triggers insecurity, creates doubt and fuels overthinking. Dhikr blocks his influence the way armor blocks arrows. The Prophet ﷺ said that shaitan runs through our blood, but dhikr forces him out. You cannot be mentally enslaved when your heart remembers Allah. Dhikr is defense. Salah teaches presence. When you pray correctly, your mind learns focus. You cannot worry about the past or future while standing before Allah. You learn to feel your breath, your posture, your recitation. You learn to be present in the moment. That presence spills into life. You become mindful in love, attentive in conversations, thoughtful in decisions. Prayer trains you to live consciously. Dhikr softens the hardest thoughts. Sometimes your mind becomes harsh, judging yourself too strictly, punishing yourself with guilt, worrying excessively. Dhikr reminds you of Allah's mercy. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim reshapes your self-talk into compassion. You begin to treat yourself as Allah treats you, with patience, forgiveness and hope. Dhikr makes the mind gentle. Salah gives meaning to pain. When you pray through sorrow, the mind learns that pain is not a curse. It is a signal to come closer to Allah. You no longer fight hardship alone. You carry it into your prayer mat, and Allah carries it with you. Pain becomes worship. Tears become dua. Brokenness becomes elevation. The mind becomes stronger because prayer transforms suffering into spiritual growth. Dhikr strengthens the self-esteem of a believer. When your worth comes from Allah, not from people, the mind becomes confident without arrogance. Allah chose me to worship Him. Allah hears me. Allah values me. These thoughts build dignity. You no longer need approval from anyone because your identity is rooted in being a servant of Allah. Dhikr builds identity with honor. Salah teaches calmness before action. Instead of reacting to problems immediately, the believer learns to pray first. You pause, breathe, ask Allah for clarity and then act. This habit protects your mind from regrets. It prevents emotional decisions. Salah becomes the lens through which you view challenges. You stop fighting blindly. You fight with faith as strategy. Dhikr helps you handle uncertainty with grace. Life is unpredictable, but dhikr makes the mind comfortable with uncertainty. You stop needing answers now. You trust that Allah will reveal what is best at the best time. Dhikr makes waiting peaceful instead of painful. Remembrance becomes medicine against impatience. Faith becomes stronger than fear. Salah teaches you that consistency is more powerful than intensity. 5 small prayers every day transform the heart more than one emotional moment. The mind learns that small daily habits bring big spiritual results. Prayer instills discipline that the mind applies to every area of life. Healing, learning, working, improving. You don't need big change. You need consistent effort. Dhikr trains the mind to seek solutions instead of dwelling on problems. When you say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, there is no power or might except through Allah, your thoughts shift from, I can't handle this, to Allah will help me handle this. Dhikr opens mental doors. The believer does not become stuck because remembrance always points them toward Allah's help. Salah teaches humility, and humility reduces mental stress. Many of our worries come from trying to control everything. Prayer teaches submission. You learn that you are not the planner but the follower of Allah's plan. Humility relaxes the mind. You no longer obsess over outcomes. You trust, accept, and move forward. Humility frees the mind from perfectionism. Dhikr gives you emotional stamina. You may feel tired, but remembrance reminds you that Allah rewards effort even when you are weak. You may feel wounded, but dhikr assures you that healing is coming. You may feel confused, but dhikr lights a small lamp of guidance. Remembrance does not remove the storm. It gives you shelter within it. You endure with peace, not with panic. Salah protects you from spiritual numbness. When life becomes heavy, the heart becomes dull. No excitement in worship, no motivation, no focus. Prayer revives you. Even if you feel nothing, your obedience becomes a sign of faith. Salah teaches the mind that feelings are not permanent and worship is not dependent on emotion. Faith becomes commitment, not mood. Dhikr teaches you how to talk to yourself with hope. People often speak negatively to themselves. I'm not good enough. I'm failing. Nothing will change. Dhikr replaces these thoughts with, Allah sees my effort. Allah will not waste my tears. Allah is preparing something better for me. Dhikr becomes an internal conversation of optimism. The mind becomes a companion, not an enemy. Salah brings structure to your day, which brings structure to your thoughts. You pray at specific times, which organizes your time, which organizes your mind. A structured mind is less anxious. Salah teaches routine without rigidity. It teaches you that discipline is mercy, not restriction. Your day revolves around prayer, not stress. Time becomes meaningful. Dhikr increases gratitude, and gratitude reduces overthinking. When you focus on blessings, you stop drowning in problems. Alhamdulillah becomes a spiritual lens that reveals beauty in difficulty. You become mentally stronger because you learn to see goodness even in setbacks. Gratitude protects the mind from bitterness. It turns life into a classroom, not a punishment. Salah strengthens your relationship with your own soul. In sujood, you meet the most vulnerable version of yourself. Honest, naked, unfiltered. You face your fears, your guilt, your desires, your weaknesses. Prayer becomes a mirror where you see your true reflection. And in that reflection, you see not shame, but potential. You see a soul Allah is still shaping. Dhikr removes the guilt that damages mental health. Sometimes we carry regret for years, believing we are beyond forgiveness. Dhikr opens the door of mercy. Astaghfirullah teaches the mind that Allah forgives more than we sin. You stop dwelling on the past because remembrance brings renewal. The mind stops punishing itself and starts healing itself. Salah teaches emotional regulation. You learn to calm your breathing, focus your gaze, slow your movements, and control your thoughts. You learn patience, discipline, and intention. These skills extend beyond prayer into daily life. You become calmer in conversations, wiser in conflict, and gentler in stress. Prayer shapes not just spirituality, but personality. Dhikr purifies intentions, which purifies mental burden. Many thoughts become toxic because they are tied to ego. What will people think? Will they accept me? Dhikr removes these chains. When you remember Allah, you stop performing for people and start acting for His sake. You stop needing praise. You stop fearing criticism. The mind becomes pure, not pressured. Salah reminds you that Allah invites you even when you sin. The door of prayer never closes. You don't need to be perfect to pray. You pray to become better. This unconditional invitation builds courage. It teaches the mind that failure is not final. You return again and again, and each return strengthens your self-worth. Salah becomes proof that Allah still wants you. Dhikr gives hope even in silence. Sometimes life feels quiet. No answers, no changes, no clarity. Dhikr whispers into that silence. Allah is working in ways you cannot see. The mind stops demanding immediate results and begins trusting hidden plans. You stop expecting instant outcomes and start appreciating divine timing. The heart becomes patient. Salah protects you from spiritual distraction. The world constantly calls you to everything except Allah. News, trends, desires, opinions. Prayer calls you back. It pulls you out of dunya 5 times a day, reminding your mind of what matters. The believer cannot drown in dunya because prayer keeps lifting them out of it. Salah becomes a lifeline. Dhikr fills your heart with love for Allah, and love for Allah rationalizes your emotions. When you love Him, you trust Him. When you trust Him, you stop fearing the future. When you stop fearing the future, your thoughts calm. Every mental struggle becomes lighter because you know the one who loves you controls everything. Love brings logic. Salah brings you to your knees so you can rise mentally. You cry in sujood and Allah builds strength through your tears. You tremble in fear and Allah gives courage through your obedience. You break inside prayer and Allah rebuilds you outside of it. You are not weak because you cry. You are strong because you bow. Prayer creates warriors. Dhikr teaches you to replace reaction with reflection. Instead of panicking, you pause. Instead of complaining, you remember Allah. Instead of assuming the worst, you ask Him for the best. Dhikr changes instinct. It refines how the mind responds to life. You become less emotional and more spiritual. Your inner dialogue becomes guided by faith. And when dhikr and salah become the pillars of your life, your mind transforms. You think with clarity, act with wisdom, heal with patience, and live with certainty. Your worries become lighter because they are carried through prayer. Your emotions become calmer because they are processed through remembrance. And your life becomes stable because your mind is anchored in Allah. When Allah lives in your thoughts, no fear can control you. When Allah lives in your heart, no pain can break you. And when Allah lives in your soul, no overthinking can destroy you. Dhikr protects your mind. Salah strengthens your mind. And together, they make you unshakable. Not because life gets easier, but because you learn to face it with faith. Build confidence by taking small, consistent steps. Confidence is not built through sudden achievements. It grows through small, quiet steps that you repeat even when no one sees you. We often wait for motivation to feel strong, but Allah teaches us that strength comes through consistency, not emotion. You become confident not when life becomes easy, but when you keep moving forward, even when it's hard. One small effort repeated with sincerity can change who you become. Many people fail not because they are weak, but because they try to do everything at once. They start too big, expect results too fast, and give up the moment progress is slow. Islam teaches gradual growth. Allah revealed the Quran over 23 years, not overnight. He teaches us that transformation is not a miracle, no, it is a journey. Confidence grows in the same way, little by little, step by step, day by day. Small steps protect you from burnout. When you push yourself too fast, you collapse. You lose consistency because you work through pressure instead of patience. Small efforts allow you to build habits. You don't need to memorize the whole Quran in a month. Start with one ayah a day. You don't need to pray the entire night. Start with 2 extra raka'at before Fajr. Confidence comes from doing little things consistently, not big things temporarily. The Prophet taught us the secret of growth when he said, "The most beloved deeds to Allah are those done consistently, even if small." Allah values patience in progress more than perfection in action. He does not ask you to be the best instantly. He asks you to keep trying. When you take small steps, you honor your journey instead of rushing it. You build foundations instead of chasing results. Confidence grows when you focus on discipline instead of outcome. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you will never move. Some days you will feel tired and some days you will feel inspired. But discipline does not depend on feelings. A believer builds habits not for the mood, but for the sake of Allah. When your intention is pure, your consistency becomes worship and your progress becomes a gift. Small steps build trust in yourself. Every time you follow through on a small goal, you prove to your soul that you can be relied upon. This quiet self-respect becomes confidence. You no longer need applause or compliments. You no longer seek validation. You learn that strength comes from within. What breaks people is not failure. It is breaking promises to themselves. Honor small commitments and your heart will begin to trust you again. Confidence requires patience with yourself. Many people judge themselves harshly because they struggle, forget, or fall behind. But Allah created you with a learning process. You are meant to stumble, reflect, adjust, and grow, not become perfect instantly. Confidence is not thinking you can do everything today. It is believing you can improve every day. Growth does not punish you, it nurtures you. Taking small steps protects your peace. If you compare yourself to others, you will feel overwhelmed. Someone else will always be faster, stronger, richer, or more skilled. But Allah does not measure you against other people. He measures you against your effort. No one knows how hard you try except Him. Confidence grows when you stop comparing your journey and start appreciating your effort. True confidence is built in privacy. It grows when you make choices that no one sees. praying Fajr on time, holding your tongue in anger, giving charity quietly, controlling your thoughts, fighting laziness. These invisible victories create a visible strength. Allah witnesses what people don't, and He rewards what your ego never announces. Confidence is born when your private effort aligns with your public character. Small habits transform your identity. If you read one page of Quran every day, you become someone who always reads Quran. If you give a small charity daily, you become someone who always cares. If you lower your gaze regularly, you become someone who respects Allah. Habits change who you are, not what you do. Confidence is not pretending, it is becoming. Every small step fights your inner resistance. Laziness, fear, procrastination, insecurity, and negative thoughts all shrink when you move despite them. You don't overcome fear by thinking, you overcome it by acting. Every small effort weakens your weaknesses. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is walking through fear with trust in Allah. Action is the cure for overthinking. Consistency shapes your faith like water shapes stone. Drops of water are small but